What is hatching, Toga Peeps? OldManTup coming at you today with our Week 3 match versus YoFizz, Fizzy Stardust, and the Atlanta Hawluchas. We're 1-1 and he's currently 2-0. So, a battle of the NCO Brethren. For those of you who don't know what that means, I apologize. Looking at his team, not much that we didn't expect. He doesn't have Altaria, which I really thought he was going to bring, and he didn't. So, the fact that we have Icy Wind on Keldeo when we could have just run a spec set makes me sad face. Looking at his team coverage, really wish I would have brought a few other things we'll discuss as we go. Looking over his team, what did we lead? I think we led Chomp. Did we lead Chomp? I don't know. I forget what we led. I want to say we led Garchomp because it fared really well against the majority of his team. But we had this match like quite a few days ago. It's actually Saturday. We're supposed to upload this on Thursday, so my apologies on that to all the fans and the PPL guys who got, and gals, because there are girls, who got their battles up on time. My apologies. Thanks to Bill Standish for the thumbnail. Thanks to Juancito Marvel for recording our match for us, and thanks to Trav for being a buddy and Jen in the team this time. We got it on the first try, which is fantastico. But yeah, believe I led with Garchomp going into this. Looking at the rest of my team, and I don't think I led with anybody else, so we're gonna say Chomp. So let's dive into this battle. It's a long one, and I'm gonna warn you now, there's some very boring parts, so if you'd like to pause right now, go grab yourself a snack, a delicious cup of coffee. You're gonna need it, trust me. We have a long, drawn-out Iron Man match-esque slobber knocker. So let's jump right into this. So yippee, fun and things. So I hope you guys are excited for this week of the PPL D2 Season 3 Week 3. Fizz dropping the challenge. Oh, we start out with Nay, because it was good against his entire team. Why was I thinking it wasn't Keldeo? But he leads T-Tar. I probably thought that either Excadrill or anything else. We really pretty much have a super effective hit for a lot of the things on his team. Except for this, which is Politoed. We don't see Drizzle. We go for the Sacred Sword because it hits everything on his team except for the Bug. Super effective, and we knew he wasn't going to switch that in on this. But as we were a little bit worried in the team builder, he does have that Water Absorb and not the Drizzle, so we can't just go scalding all the things willy-nilly. We gotta worry about this thing for a bit. If I had the spec set, would have made me a lot happier, thinking we could have done quite a bit more damage, and we wouldn't have wasted our health on this sub here. But we have the subset. I was kind of really hoping that he would predict a switch there and drop a Toxic or something like that. Especially since, or maybe a Fire move if he has HP Fire, because Ferrothorn was a fairly obvious switch there, but I guess not. So we know that he has Psychic now, which is something we talked about in the team builder, so we're really glad that we subbed there and just didn't willy-nilly Secret Sword again. We're gonna send in Athena because Athena can take anything this wants to dish. Yeah, look at that. Nothing. Sandstorm's gonna do more damage to us than that Psychic did because Cress is bae and just takes hits 4 days. Now I know what you're thinking, Tub. What are you doing with Cresselia on this team? He has the Bug, Fire thing, and he has Tyranitar. So we're like, what are we going to do here? I believe we just drop an Energy Ball. He's going to bring out Big Pop Pump, which is the Excadrill. We see Mold Breaker, so we know right off the bat that he isn't, you know, stuffing things. We see the Energy Ball. I did the calc. I wasn't sure if he was minimum defense invested Expert Belt, or not Expert Belt, Assault Vest at this time. We know right now he isn't. So that's going to be important later in the match when we talk. We know he's not Assault Vest. And we're seeing these Ice Beams and yeah, Energy Balls do lots of damage. So that's good. He's going to switch out here because there isn't much he can do to me. He'd go for the Earthquake. He's going to go in and going to whip up the Sandstorm and prevent us from moonlighting and getting back 50% of our health, which is actually really good play on his part. That does nothing because of the Sandstorm boost and neutral damage and unstab. I would have been better off with Dragon Pulse. Wink, wink. For those of you that get that. Unstab dragon coverage. Gonna go right back and start dropping some energy balls to see how much damage we can do. Plus we have the 10 to 20% chance to drop his special attack. And I didn't want to switch out and need a pursuit to the face. Even though we're physically defensive, I didn't want to do that. So we're just staying in it. We see him go for Ancient Power, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the only special rock move he has. Making me think that he's either baiting me into switching into something else, made a bad prediction, or doesn't have dark coverage. So he switches out here, and he goes into the other thing that should straight up wall me all day long, and just beat my face in, because it has Stab Bug Buzz. So, we're looking at this, and I don't want to switch anything into a Stab Bug Buzz at this point, especially if he wants to set up a Quiver Dance. I want to get as much damage on this as I can. If he sets up a Quiver Dance, bring in Garchomp, hoping he kills me after one Quiver Dance, and go from there, because Garchomp outspeeds, and we'll hit him with a Stab Earthquake or Stab Outrage. Both are good options at this point. And we're just attacking to attack. And he just Will-O-Wisps us, which was really curious to me when that happened, because I'm like, why wouldn't he set up a Quiver Dance there? Was he testing the waters? He's seen 3 attacks. Well, he hadn't seen 3 attacks at that point. I believe we went for Psyshock last turn. He had seen the Ice Beam and the Energy Ball. Now, he U-turns here, and I'm like, what kind of set is he running this week? And I'm like, is U-turn the only stab super effective damage that he has for me? And him bringing out T-Tar this turn is good for me, because it prevents him from resetting the sand this turn. I mean, it's a free turn for him, ultimately, because I went for the Psyshock. That was a fairly obvious switch back in, but as I said, I want as much damage on Volcarona as possible, because at that point, I did not know whether or not it was packing the Quiver Dance. Gonna bring Shane Helms right back out here to either get the predicted Energy Ball, or put himself back in the position to hit me with another super effective move, or try to play around to get Sandstorm back up. He probably thinks I don't have much to hit him, and he's probably carrying the Roost based off of how bulky this thing can be. So he's gonna Fiery Dance here, so I'm like, okay, we've seen everything but one move, and that isn't gonna do a lot. He is gonna get the special attack raise. I forget what the odds of that are, but we're gonna Psyshock there, and that does about 25% damage, which is fine by me, because as long as I can keep hitting him, he's going to have to Roost, which is going to allow me to go for the Moonlight. So he's going to Roost here, and I'm just like, okay, he is packing the Roost. He doesn't have Bug Buzz or Quiver Dance. I'm just like, what is this? He's running these crazy sets, and we're just going to get a Moonlight off here. So we're back up to well over half. He's back at full. And we're back at this point again where we just keep going back. And I'm waiting for him to kill Crest, because that's what I really want to do. Had I had Calm Mind, I don't know that he could have beat me. As crazy as that's going to sound, I don't know what his answer to this would have been if I had Calm Mind. Because I would have just Calm Minded up and blew his team back. But, yeah, stuff and things. So this is going to be a slow, drawn-out battle where we just fight back and forth until he kills me. So we're going to talk about something else for a little bit, because there aren't really any amazing plays in this stretch here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some things to come on the channel. Currently working on getting a rebrand. For those of you who don't know what that means, a rebrand is pretty much where you redo the art for the channel, give the channel a new look, and try to put more effort into it moving forward. I do predict the switch out here, go for Energy Ball, and we do catch T-Tar in the switch in, which is fun. And we get the special defense drop, which is awesome. Not that it's really going to help us in the long run, but we're at the point where we're almost dead, and that's going to help us no matter what. Any advantage we can get over Tyranitar is a good one. So you can expect that in the future. I'm currently, if you're following me on Twitter, you're already aware of this, but I'm currently seeking out the help of about 4 different artists to try and get things figured out. And he's finally going to take out Athena here. And looking back, this may have just been me being lazy and not wanting to switch something in, because all we had seen from this was Ancient Power. But we're going to go to Roger here, and I want to preserve the fact that I am Toxic Orb. I want to kind of bluff the fact that I may be Banded Hustle or Scarf Hustle. And I'm just going to U-turn out here. It's on Cloyster, which has ridiculous defense, so it's not going to be discernible one way or the other. But we're going to go out into Sableye here. And fairly obvious play for him is to switch out into the Bug thing, because a fairly obvious play is for us to go into Will-O-Wisp. Why would have we gone out to this in the first place? I really contemplated switching out here into Keldeo, but at the same time I didn't want to let this thing set up on me, so I just kind of stayed in Will-O-Wisp because it was a safe play, middle ground play. We're not too terribly deep into the match yet, Mon-wise, so I really didn't want to make any misplays, and yeah. So he has this thing out here, and I'm specially defensive, and this is meant to come in and take Bug Buzzes to the face from this thing. So I know I can take Fiery Dances for days and just set up. So he's going to U-turn here. He's going to go out into No, which is his Tyranitar, and we are just going to Dark Pulse to gauge some damage to see what we can do to things. That does literally next to nothing. Because here's nothing, and that was next to nothing. So I think he gets more lefties back. He's going to Ancient Power here, and I don't know why he's trying to set up on us. We're just going to Will-O-Wisp here in the event he is backdoor hiding some really fantastic fighting or physical coverage, plus it's going to reduce the effectiveness of his leftovers, because burn damage is, I believe, what, like an 8th or something like that, and leftovers is only a 16th. So we're going to win that battle. And he's just going to continue to Ancient Power, trying to get that 10% all stat raise. And we're just going to heal all that back. Now, I predict that he is going to switch out into his Bug thing here, because all we're doing is going to sit in this thing's face and whittle it down with the burn, which is the reason I burned it. So we're going to go ahead, get a little cheeky, and set up a Calm Mind, the only move he hasn't seen yet. And Calm Mind Sableye, even the specially defensive version, runs the train through his team if he can't get in and hit me with something good. So he's going to Fiery Dance, and I want to gauge how much damage this is going to do when I'm at +1 and he isn't. And that does so little damage. I'm just going to continue to Calm Mind. Now, he didn't get the boost there. Again, I didn't check to see what the ratio for Fiery Dances. I could probably pull it up on my phone while I'm trying to narrate this, because that's super professional. But we're going to go back and forth with this. And Fiery, how the heck do you spell Fiery Dance? He's just going to keep attacking. He's going to get the boost or not get the boost, and I'm just going to continue to recover and Calm Mind in his face, because until he gives me a reason not to, why would I stop? I'm still ahead of him at this point, so even if he starts getting boosts, I'm ahead. So I'm not worried about it in the slightest. And if he's going to let me take this thing out, that is so good for me. So good, because that's his, I think, only resist on the team to Secret Sword from Keldeo. So that's just going to let me freely Secret Sword and not even worry about it. Okay, here we have the move. What is the percentage that it gives it a boost? Its accuracy is 100%. Bulbapedia, you are failing me. Oh, really? Come on, Bulbapedia. Where's it at? 50% chance of raising. So he's actually losing out on that. Where he's breaking even. If you want to count the Fiery Dance he got on Cresselia. But we're keeping it ourselves almost at full health. The Sandstorm's gone down. He is going to Fiery Dance. He did get the boost the last turn, so he is a little bit better off than he was before. But he's still not doing much. We got Dark Pulse. I think we're at +4/+4 special defense. And we see that's enough to do well over half. And he's just going to Fiery Dance again. And I want to recover here because I want to be at as much health as possible for what he's going to bring in next. He doesn't get a boost there, which is really good, so we know how much damage he's going to do. And we know this Dark Pulse is going to take it out, or whatever he brings in. So he's going to Fiery Dance here, and that's going to do about 30, I want to say 30%. Is that what it was doing before? Yeah, about 30%. This Dark Pulse is easily going to take it out at this range. And we get a kill for Mega Sableye, which is bueno. And the way Mega Sableye just stood in the face of this team. Now, I sat and thought about this move for a long time. And you know how I said that he set up Stealth Rocks before, so that let me know that he wasn't Assault Vest? At this point in the match, I was still debating in my head if he had the Assault Vest, and I forgot about the fact that set up Stealth Rocks. Let me just say that Mold Breaker on Excadrill so that you could guarantee you set up Stealth Rocks on Mega Sableye is pretty genius if that's the reason you brought it. And I think that's what it is. But aside from that, this was the longest turn in the match for me, and I almost took it all the way to timer. I sat here and thought, is he Lumberry or is he Assault Vest? Because all I could remember, I couldn't remember what he did. I honestly couldn't. At this point in the match, my brain was just fizzled out. No pun intended. And I was bouncing back and forth between Lumberry and Assault Vest. Because I hadn't seen the Swords Dance, and I thought for certain if he, at the point in the match, he would have Swords Danced when he had the Mold Breaker. And on Cresselia, I was certain he would have Swords Danced at that point if he had it. And I was thinking that meant that he was Assault Vest, and my brain was just like, bleh. So, I had possible Assault Vest, almost guaranteed Lumberry, and all I could think was, my inner Trogdor says to burninate the peasants. So we went, Trogdor! And we're going to drop a Will-O-Wisp here. I think. He's going to Earthquake, and that does right around half. Yeah, right around half. We're going to Will-O-Wisp here, and as soon as I clicked it, I'm like, burninate the peasants, burninate the peasants, burninate the peasants. Who has a Lumberry? And I'm just like, this really swung the momentum in the match out of my favor, because guaranteed from that point that Dark Pulse would have killed this. He would have not Earthquaked Landmine. He would have not crit Landmine. And that's going to matter later in the match. So we're going to move forward. He's going to Earthquake me again. Another one isn't going to kill me after leftovers unless he back-to-back crits me. I'm going to get the Gyro Ball off here. Now, let me say one thing why that mattered. Had he not crit me the first time, or had this thing even been dead to begin with, had he not crit me, I would have set up Rocks that turn, then went for Gyro Ball if I survived. Because Rocks are more important to me with 2 turns left than Gyro Ball with 1. Because freaking Cloyster is still in the back, who's going to take 25% damage to it. You'll understand later. So, Gyro Ball isn't very effective, but still does huge damage to this thing. Because, sassy nature and stuff. Earthquake is going to take me out this turn, which is very sad. And Landmine is going to go down. We're going to bring in Street Shark here. And from this range, an Outrage kills. 2 Outrages kill anything, so we can't switch. Gonna outrage here. It is gonna kill this thing. The gyro ball damage made it. I was able to calc, and I knew for a fact that with the gyro ball damage I was gonna kill it. Now here is where you're gonna see Justin Liger comes out here, and if my stealth rocks were up, or if Ferrothorn was still alive, because it wouldn't have died if I'd have been smart and not burnt the Lumberry, I could have easily switched into it here, because even with his skill link and insane attack, Ferrothorn walls the crap out of this thing. But we're going to outrage here, and we're going to see how much damage this does. Wow, it puts it right about 25%. So if we had those wonderful... We get a 2-turn outrage also, not that that matters. If we had those wonderful stealth rocks set up, it would have put this thing at the very edge of range for anything coming in to sneeze on it and die if it didn't die exactly 2 stealth rocks. But he's gonna Icicle Spear here, and it makes me think, why wouldn't he go for the smash there? Is he not with the smash? So it makes me think he's not rocking the smash. Why is that important? Because that means he's probably either banded or scarfed. Now, with that in mind, I think he's choice locked into something making this next move. So I'm going to bring out Roger. Why the heck would he not switch out here, knowing that I'm carrying some form of priority that's going to kill him if he is choice locked? That is in my mind. So I'm thinking, he's choice locked. He's going to switch out into something, probably something to take, anything really that can come in and take a sucker punch or a quick attack from this thing, right? So I'm just going to U-turn. Well, he doesn't. He stays in an Icicle Spears again, confirming the fact that he is Scarf, because that's the only way he can outspeed me, and Jolly Roger, the mascot, goes down. Crying face. Now that I know that Scarfed, even Adamant can't kill me with max damage on Icicle Spears, so I'm going to stay in here and easily, yeah, eat up these 5 Icicle Spears, and I'm just going to stay in and Secret Sword, because that is going to kill this thing every day of the week, twice on Sunday. So Justin Liger's going to go down, and we are sitting, we got a crit there. Crit totally mattered, because he would have held on with 1 HP, because he probably was also rocking the Focus band, because Fizz is known for running 2 items on things. Just going to bring out Politoed here. Again, if I just had Fairthorn chilling out, if I hadn't stupidly allowed that Excadrill to take over 50% of the health from my Mega Sableye and kill my Ferrothorn, I would have had a really safe switch into this thing, because we've seen Psychic. He's probably got Ice Beam, he's probably got Scald or the other thing. He's going to Psychic me there, and we're not going to be strong enough to take him out. And the only thing we have left is Mega Sableye, and Mega Sableye is not as fast as this thing. And now that we're switching back into rocks, and we're at such low health because we took that completely unnecessary Earthquake, well, even if we'd taken the Earthquake and killed it, we would have still had What's Its Bucket to come back out. It's going to Scald, and that's going to be more than enough to kill us. So Fizz is going to win 3-0, I think. So, yeah, that was a match with YoFizz, and I'm really, I don't want to say, I guess disappointed is the only word to use. I'm really disappointed with the way I played that match, because I had it in the bag. Excadrill goes down all the time to that Sableye at +3 or +4, whatever I was, Dark Pulse. And then I just have Ferrothorn, which stands around in front of the rest of his team. Barring Fire Blast from Tyranitar. Even HP Fires from anything other than a nasty plotting Celebi eat up for days. And Roger, once I get his Guts activated, just runs through the rest of the team. even max speed Celebi's gonna get bopped in the face by a sucker punch. So, really disappointed with how I played, especially the play with Mega Sableye, the play with Fairthorn, and the play with Roger. So, that was just, I lost half my team because I make a really bad mid-game read. And it really upset me. I was really upset about the way I played this match for about 3 days afterwards. And I'm not gonna lie, that kind of played into why I didn't want to sit down and narrate it, because I was just, I wasn't mad at the way anything happened in the match. I was mad at the way I played, plain and simple. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching and thank you for listening to the ramble. We're 1-2 now, and we got like a -5 differential because I think we were at -2 going into this week. So sad face. But anyways, this has been OldManTup, and we will catch you on the flip side. Next week, I believe we're playing the Bristol Bidoofs, and yeah, that ought to be a lot of fun. Catch you on the flip side, guys. Peace.